All right, weekend sports betting tips on the Barroom Network. Got Mr. Sean Higgs, Anthony from Pounded Sports. This is Tooch. We got some college football, week 8, NFL, week 7. But first, a little Major League Baseball. Got some ALCS and NLCS action going on. I think what was it, 3-1 last time I checked? Dodgers and Mets.
It's like 10-2 now.
10-2 now. Wow.
3-1.
Woo! Yeah, when I started working on stuff for this show, it was 3-1. 10-2 now.
Oh yeah, they put a hammer on him. Flaherty got killed.
Mets 10, Dodgers 2. All right, we've got the Yankees at Guardians coming up later in about an hour. Gavin Williams, Luis Gil. Sean, any thoughts on Yankees Guardians?
We just touched on this for a second before we went live, and was like, and his thought is the same as mine. Like, how is Gil? He hasn't pitched. When's the last time he pitched?
A long time, over 3 weeks ago.
Right. Maybe it's good for a guy who's maxed out innings. I mean, he's got more innings this year than like the last 4 years combined or something like that.
Yeah.
So maybe it's helpful. Maybe it's not. Cleveland is not the offensive prowess is not there. You don't expect them to come out and club away, but it's one of those spots where it's like, Yanks should win, right? Let's be honest, they're the better team, but I don't know. It's a tough loss last night for them. Both of their bullpen guys got hit, gave up home runs. I kind of like Gavin Williams, youngster, supposed to be good. Maybe
he dominated the Yankees last time he pitched versus them in Yankee Stadium. I think he went 5 innings or a little over 5 innings, 1 earned run. He dominated. This is a great spot for the Guardians to even up the series. This is what I was saying on the midday money, that Louis Hill should have started game 2 instead of game 4. He needs to start at home. His numbers on the road compared to home, completely different. Guardians, the 28th best batting average. That's bottom of the barrel pretty much on the road, compared to at home, 13th best batting average playing at home. And that Cleveland Park, it's turned into a hitter's ballpark, not like past years. So, and Guardians, man, be careful.
You think in October it'd be a little more colder weather, pitching, it'd be a little low-scoring game, but the balls were flying last night out of there.
Yeah.
A lot of homers.
I keep reading. I was like, go on.
Louis Gil road batting average against 194 batting average against on the road in his starts. Not terrible. So, I mean, he had a good season, this guy. I mean, it's good for the baseball card collection. He got a numbered card for him,
Yeah.
I mean, 15 and 7 this year, a 3.50 ERA, not terrible, right? He had a couple starts, but where was this? Let's keep him in the minors. Yeah, that was a real good job. You couldn't use this guy last year on this team?
Absolutely.
Could use him last. He was coming from injury, so I get it. But again, the problem with him is a lot of innings. And if you look at his last year, he pitched 4 innings. He was hurt. 21 innings in 2022 because he was hurt. And then 79, 96. So you got to go back to 2019 to see him pitch this amount of innings combined over the 4 years.
Yeah. It's insane. I mean, he's been great, like you said, but I just feel like this is a bad spot for him to pitch in Cleveland. And this could be a bad spot for the Yankees to use up their bullpen as well. So, I mean, if you can get 3-4 innings out of him, I think that's a win. But I think Gavin Williams is going to shut down this Yankees offense.
The thing is, though, the Cleveland bullpen has not been good. I mean, Cleese has given up more runs to the Yankees than he had. And even against Detroit, he came and got shelled. So he's tanked. I mean, the coach keeps going. He uses the same guys. We're going 5 pitchers every game here.
Yeah. Yep.
You're playing with fire, man. You can't do that when you got Stanton, Judge, and Soto, 3 guys who could just hit it out of the ballpark at any given time, and they have in this series.
Yep, I agree. But I like the Guardians tonight. I think they even up the series. I think the Yankees win the series, but I think tonight's all Guardians.
Guardians minus 106 on the money line. New York minus 102. Yankees lead 2-1. That big pinch hit home run last night for Noel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard it all over the internet.
That was a blast.
Bottom 9 going yard. Come on, that was good stuff. Who's that again? Luke Weaver. This is the Yankees, and this is where I get into conversations with people in my little midday morning shows. Like, oh yeah, you're rolling out John Birdie at first base. Yeah. John Birdie.
And then everybody's like, oh, we're gonna get Ohtani in the trade deadline. No, you're gonna get John fucking Birdie.
John Birdie. Luke Weaver. Listen, I remember like 10 years ago, I was grabbing Luke Weaver. I'm like, oh, this guy, Cardinals supposed to be, Cardinals to develop pitchers. This guy's going to be really good. Cardinals, Arizona. I think he was on the Braves at one point. Like, could not find his
He was on the Reds.
Starter stuff. Was he on the Reds too?
He was on the Reds. Remember, I used to comment, Luke Weaver fan club. Wasn't that him?
I'm gonna pull up the stats for him to see where he's been. I mean, because this is a guy, again, he was a first-round draft pick. Yep. 27th pick overall, so a first rounder. Here we go. St. Louis, Arizona, Kansas City. Went to Kansas City, Cincinnati, Seattle, and the Yanks last year.
Oh my God! I thought he was only in Cincinnati. Wow.
And the crazy thing is, he had 3 good starts for the Yanks. He had 3 starts last year for the Yanks. 13 innings, 14 hits, not bad. 338 ERA, and then he's been in a bullpen. Obviously, he's found himself in the bullpen because this is the best he's been every other year. Look at these ERAs. 570, 495, 294 with 12 games, 658, 656, 771, 559. Holy, 640, 687 for Cincinnati in 21 starts. They rolled him out 21 times with a 680 ERA.
I remember.
I know that ERA is not that important. His batting average against was 306, folks. Yeah. This is the Yankee closer, by the way.
I mean, you got to remember, last year was a good over bet playing the Reds at home. Yeah. Let's not forget that. Well, you got the Reds over 9 with Luke Weaver on the mound. Oh, beautiful. I mean, you're seeing money signs in your eyes. So now he's your closer. Go figure.
I mean, it's just, I just find it Austin Wells batting cleanup, like Alex Verdugo, like
Alex Verdugo. I mean, I don't know
who the heck is Duke Ellis. This guy's on the roster.
Duke Ellis, never heard of him.
Duke Ellis, lefty, 26-year-old, 20th round pick, Nacogdoches, Texas. That's about an hour from me.
The dude doesn't even have a rookie card out. he's on the ALCS roster.
I mean,
he's gonna get a World Series ring if they win.
So he had to be drafted at Padres drafted him in 2017. He didn't get to the minors till 2021. What is that about? I mean, again, Yankee fans. Who did they pick up from who did the A's cut? And the Yanks picked them up off the scrap heap. The first baseman.
Oh, Davis.
Roger Davis. Who was it?
Well, it's not Eric Davis. I can't think of his first name. Ed Davis. Something Davis. Yeah, he lasted like a month.
JD Davis. Here it is.
JD Davis. Yeah.
JD Davis. I mean, it's comical. It's Taylor Trammell got at bats.
He was batting fifth for the longest time behind Judge. Just imagine Soto, Judge,
Jomani Jones. This is the Yankees. Ben Rice. I mean, at least like Trent Grisham, I thought was a good. Again, I'm one of those guys like, hey, I like Harrison Bader. I like Andrew Benedetti. Trent Grisham, I'm thinking you bring in a veteran kind of guy who could hit, get into that kind of. Because I go back to like the 90 Yankees, right? You bring in an old guy, Ruben Sierra or
Ruben
Rockwell.
Sierra, yeah.
I mean, although he was kind of like a star when he started, but I mean, like you bring in a kind of older veteran guy, you think this is I'm going to fit in here, I'll do good. No, absolutely. This is like the 88 to like 92 Yankees, or everybody they come in is just absolutely terrible. Like, who are we bringing in here?
Yeah, it's true.
The Guardians. True. No, they'll always be the Indians.
No, they're the Indians.
Yeah, they should change their name back. It's terrible. And now
they're leaving.
They're leaving at the
but
Browns
they'll have the other
stadium.
Team.
Yeah,
they'll have the Braves, and there's another team.
The Chiefs.
The Chiefs, but they can't.
Seminoles.
I mean, it's a mess. It's all politics. That's all it is. It's all politics, and it's all about money. People say, "Oh, it's about a respect." No, it's all about money. It's all it is.
Where is Soto? Where is Soto signing in the offseason?
I think there's only one bank account that can afford him. That's the only one that can afford him.
The Mets to get him over the top, right? Because if they lose Alonso, you got to bring in Soto.
Alonso's gone. He's gone. That's guaranteed. And don't be surprised if he goes to Chicago, and I'll be pissed if he goes to Chicago.
I was going to say maybe this Cleveland team could use a first baseman, big power guy.
You really think Cleveland's going to go out and get a big name? No, they're going to get some rando name that you never heard of before.
How about the Astros? How about the Tigers? How about the Tigers there? How about him getting put your buddy Torkelson to the DH role?
Torkelson. Where would Alonso go? Alonso would go to somewhere like the Giants. It's like, where all the players go to retire. And
San Fran.
220. It fits in 220 batting average. It fits in.
Right in with Matt Chapman over there. And
with Matt Chapman.
Evan Longoria.
Yeah, exactly. So I say he goes to like that, a team like that.
No. I'm looking at this Yankee roster here. I'm looking at their regular season stats, and Judge, great, 322, 58, 144, Soto, 41, 109, 288. Stanton 27-72, and now he's the key to this playoff team. If he's going to hit, and he's hitting like over 30, he's going to hit. Watch out. But then what? Lieber Torres, 15, 63, 257, 330 on base. I mean, look at his on base average. Verdugo 291.
Torres hit well in the series, though. I mean,
Volpe,
in the playoffs.
Your leadoff hitter is a 293 on base. Volpe, I mean, that guy. I should have sold that card when I got that. That's a good card. That should have got rid of that in a hot second. I mean, maybe a full season of J.S. Sism's all right. Grisham's terrible. Cabrera. Rizzo. What are we doing?
He needs to retire at this point. He's sped up his retirement. Let me tell you that way.
LeMay. I mean, look at this. I mean, Taylor Trammell, Kevin Smith, Carlos Navarez, Duke Ellis, J.D. Davis, Jamani Jones, John Burchell. This is a team. This is a team people think is a World Series team.
Yeah. You take Soto and Judge out of that lineup, and what do you have left? Crap.
Nothing.
Crap.
And you see when one of them goes to when Judge got hurt or doesn't hit, you see what happens.
Yeah.
Because Soto doesn't care. I'll walk. Hey, whatever. I'll hit 290 and walk with 200 and walk with whatever.
Absolutely. On base percentage. Yeah, he don't care.
So Anthony likes the Guardians tonight. Sean, any thoughts on this game? Any plays?
I don't know. I mean,
under 7.5, over 7.5.
Look at the spam we have. What is
this? Look at this. We're spam
65.
Correct score, guys. Correct score.
Yeah, I love when the spams come in. It's great. It means you've made it. You've made it. Daily odds. Excellent.
Yeah. Daily odds, boy. You didn't last long, buddy. He gone. He grabbed some bench.
Let's see. We got some college football action. Seminoles and Blue Devils kicked off already. No score. We got
it's 3-0 Florida.
Oh, is it? They scored already. Florida State just scored, huh?
Yep.
Oregon. That's wrong here. It should be
Purdue.
Well, hold on. -30 at Purdue.
It went up, yeah.
It went up, and I just saw someone posted that their starting tight end is out for Oregon, and their best defensive lineman's out too, and the lines keep going up.
I like the under in this one. I mean, once a total gets over 60.5, I mean the under is like I forget.
I did a
50-something%.
I did a first half 16.5 here with Oregon in the midday money. I said, you know what? I know they're off Ohio State, but maybe they come out strong for the first half, and then they kind of take the feet off the gas for the second half and pack it up, get ready to go home and play Illinois. You know, not that's a look at spot, but I think they kind of score early. Purdue what was that game? 50-49. Like Illinois was cruising. It was like 27-3, and then
that was a one-off. That was a one-off game right there.
What have we seen out of Purdue? You think Purdue's going to come in and roll like that again? I mean, they were.
Nope.
It was 24-3, and then actually it was 27-3, and then they scored a bunch of points.
Yep.
I mean, you had a 50-yard bomb.
Illinois had to come from behind just to force overtime.
Well, they had you had a big pass play, then a fumble for a touchdown.
Yep. They recovered the outside kick too.
Yep.
And they got a Hail Mary touchdown, whatever, or just a bomb touchdown right after the onside kick.
Crazy.
Boom.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Illinois is defense was terrible. Purdue made the switch from Hudson Card to Ryan Brown, and then the passing game picked up.
I can still listen. You want to take 30 here? I'm not going to hate taking 30. I just figured if Oregon's going to play, it'll be a first half, and then they move on.
I mean, this year, Oregon is famous for not covering by like a point or two.
Yeah,
I'll take Purdue on the points. It's way too many points for Oregon. Oregon's going to come in, win the game, and leave. They're not here to the FCS team. They're not here to blow 60, 70 points. It's going to be like 42 to like 28 type.
They don't have to. There's no more. You don't have to run it up. 12 teams are in the playoffs.
That's it.
They're in the driver's seat. They beat Ohio State, so they're already in. Right, they're in. Unless they end up losing 3 games somehow. They're in the playoffs. They don't care. Win, and let's get out of here.
Exactly.
You got to think for this game to go over, Purdue's got to score in the 20s. Right? You see him putting 20 on Oregon's defense. Pretty good defense.
I do. I'm not sold on Oregon. Not sold on Oregon.
If you look at their scores, this is going to be what? I mean, they played a tough game versus Boise, was pretty good. Ohio State was pretty good. Everything else, 31-10, 34-13, 24-14, Idaho to start, 49-14. That was at Oregon State. So what's this game going to be? 37-17? Like it's going to be, it's a nice win, 20-point win, but it's nowhere near 30.
They put 49 on Oregon State. But
that's a rival. That's a rival. Yeah. Their other games,
they haven't scored over 37 in any other game.
Nope,
because they've run the ball a lot, and they're not as good. I'm telling you, they're not as good as people think they are.
Defensively, they're a good club.
They're a good club, but when it comes to going head to head with a top team, they're going to get killed.
Well, I mean, Ohio State was ranked number 2. They beat them.
I'm not sold on it.
How about Michigan? They got Michigan in 2 weeks.
Oh,
at Michigan. That's in Michigan.
Oh, at Michigan, that's gonna be a better one.
It'll be a good
game. That'll be a good game in Michigan, just because the crowd's always in it, no matter what the score is. They're gonna be in it. It's hard.
I can see them getting picked off there because they'll probably be a favorite.
Yeah.
Probably a favorite in that game. Then they got Maryland home at Whiskey, and then home versus Washington. Whiskey might be a tough one.
I was just gonna say Wisconsin is better than people think.
That's a mid-November game in Wisconsin. It could be a blizzard for all we know.
Watch out for Wisconsin upsetting Ohio State. Watch out for that upset. Do they play this year?
No. They have no. They got Northwestern. They got Penn State. Penn State at home. That could be their little upset win.
Penn State's a joke at this point. I mean, come on.
They're undefeated.
You got to have. Oh, look who they played.
You can only play who's in front of you.
They're playing Cinderella teams.
Well, we're going to see what they are because they're at Whiskey this week. Ohio State home. Washington, again, it's Washington in a rebuild. At Purdue, at Minnesota, Maryland. So their big games are these next 2 weeks for Purdue. If they lose one, they're in the playoffs. They're a playoff team.
I'm high on Wisconsin.
Is that the right spread? Minus 30, huh? Plus 30, minus 30.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
30
right.
and a half.
I'd have to lean to the 30 here for the game.
30 and a half.
I like Purdue here. I like Purdue plus 30 a lot here. Yep.
Plus 30 and a half.
Oregon probably wins by 28.
BetMGM 30 and a half.
It's the same thing.
Let's see. We got 6-0 BYU Cougars. But Oklahoma State, their coach got kicked in the head by a cow, or head butted by a cow, Mike Gundy. And look, Oklahoma State last season, you had Doak Walker Award winner Ollie Gordon. They haven't been able to run the ball at all. Alan Bowman, his 7th year, they went to his backup now. He's not even starting. BYU's a dream season right now, Sean. What do you think? 9.5, cover 9.5 at home?
It's like I said, this was 6.5, 7.5, keeps going up.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma State is off their bye week, right? So that would be the why let's take the 10 points or 9.5 points. It's like, oh, we're off a bye week. They haven't run the ball well.
Nope.
BYU's, come on. But when I lay it, again, I'm laying better numbers. I got 6.5, 7.5.
You're sitting on a 6.5.
So I'm not looking to lay 9.5. It's okay to bet a little early, folks, with these games. You don't gotta wait.
Especially
BYU
teams like BYU. We had +3 versus Baylor, and they blew them out. What last time was one of my picks.
We have a revenge spot from last year, right?
Yep, the bowl game. They kept them from a bowl game, right?
Yep, overtime win there.
The double overtime. Thanksgiving.
So it's not like we're going to overlook these guys. Who cares? It's an easy win. No, they beat you last year.
Yep.
And you have a shot here. Let's be honest. You run the table in the Big 12, you might be getting a bye in the playoffs.
Yep. BYU
you should get a bye. I don't care that SEC teams going to be ranked higher than you. You're undefeated conference champs. You should get a bye.
This week, the Kalani Sitake, BYU head coach, said of last year's double overtime loss to Oklahoma State, quote, "This left a sour taste in our mouth and a sore spot for us. So this is a chance for us to make things right." Anthony, what do you think here?
Absolutely. I love BYU here. As much as I like that early number, 6.5, I have no problem with -9.5. I like -9.5 as much as I like 6.5, to be honest with you. I've been playing this BYU team since week 2, and this team's a lot better than people think. Everybody's like, oh, this is the week. This is the week. This is the week. At home, and trust me, I've played Oklahoma State twice this year, and I've been burned royally.
I had them against, what was that? Who were they hoping against?
Texas A&M. I had them versus Texas A&M at home. They're just awful. Or was it Auburn? One of those two teams. But this Oklahoma State team is awful. They've had so many opportunities to score. They can't move the ball. I mean, I'm not blaming the quarterback. I mean, it's just a mixture of team chemistry, coaching, plays, call play. It's a big mess. I think BYU's
tough place to play too at BYU. Yeah. Sean, how many teams are there in college football, roughly?
I don't know. 128 or something like that. 120, 126. I don't know. Someone knows.
132, I think, but
something like that.
Oklahoma State is 131st in rushing success rates. They haven't been able to run the ball, like you said.
Yeah. Well, that's right. That's how you score 20 points a game and lose 3 in a row. You can't run the ball.
But I will say, I think Oklahoma State has played a better quality of teams. But BYU's got they got everything going on right now. Defensively is where I think their biggest weakness is. But offensively, this team they can give a 3rd and 15 and they'll convert no problem.
They have played a tough schedule. I mean, they did beat Arkansas, and they had a practice game against Tulsa. They lost to Utah.
K-State.
They lost to Kansas State.
I had BYU the last game -3 versus Arizona.
West Virginia came in and put 38 points on them in Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
I mean, BYU's beat Arizona, Big 12 team. Baylor on the road, 38-9 over K-State, big win. At Wyoming.
That's a common opponent right there.
At Wyoming is what it is, 34-14, and not sexy. But you're on the road. And the SMU game, they were 10-point underdogs against the SMU. And we did the show. I said, give me the 10 points with BYU here. Who is the SMU?
You got the schedule there?
Yeah, I'm looking
at it. The SMU is 1-5 now.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that going into the season?
But they're now, it's not the AAC. They're in the ACC.
Yeah. I was high on SMU coming into this year. And boy, what a disaster.
This is a Big 12 action here, Sean?
Yes.
Yeah.
They don't play Iowa State, so Iowa State also undefeated.
Yeah. At South Florida, at Central Florida. Then they got Utah on the road. Probably tough no matter who's quarterbacking. Kansas at home, at Arizona State, and home versus Houston. I mean, maybe a one-loss team. But, again, I don't know about Utah. What's going on over there?
Yep. Arizona State has played some teams tough this year, too.
Arizona State's an over team. You see Arizona State just take the over, I'm telling you. This team just loves to play overs. They can score.
All right.
That's a fun team to watch.
So both you guys like BYU at home tonight, minus laying the points. Nebraska at Indiana. Who would have thought Indiana would be 6-0 with Kurt Cignetti, the Nick Saban protege, and then you've got
where was he at? Madison, Liberty. Where was he?
Rourke.
He came from
Rourke's quarterback, right?
Yeah, Rourke, Ohio University Bobcats. It was
the Ohio University.
Anthony and I won some money with old Rourke. Man, he's a beast.
Oh yeah, the whole Rourke family.
Yep,
I'm a big fan of the Rourke family.
6'5", 230 kids lighting it up this season. And Nebraska with was Dylan Raiola at quarterback, and
this was
Matt
a
Rule.
tricky game. Nebraska is not getting any respect in this line. No respect.
Look at Indiana. They put like 42 points up on everybody, and they played tough defense too, man. Look at the scores, Sean. The only team they struggled with was the very first one with Florida International. They only put 31 up. That was the only game they didn't cover.
I like Nebraska. Give me Nebraska.
Western Illinois 77-3. I mean, I think I saw this.
They could throw that out.
I saw this with Tennessee putting up huge scores like that, and then they go and score 15 points against SEC teams.
Yep.
So you beat UCLA.
Yep.
Who's been terrible out of the gate. Now they've improved maybe a little bit better, but they were terrible.
Yep. Have they played anybody? Charlotte.
You like Charlotte?
Blows. No.
So putting 52 on them, is that really an accomplishment?
Maryland,
is Maryland a good team?
Maryland's a Big Ten team, so is Northwestern.
They're not.
No, they're not good. But.
No. Maryland's
but they're Big Ten. Those are Big Ten defenses. But yeah, this will be the toughest test yet for Indiana.
Hey,
by far.
Yeah,
I like Nebraska.
Nebraska
with it just looks way too easy. Just look what the line tells you. They're at home. It's only 6.5. It looks way too easy. And then
touchdown.
This is why I love doing this podcast. Is seeing the real reactions of Tooch. I say Indiana minus 6.5. He gets so excited. Give me Nebraska. No. It's nothing against you, but you're given the normal reaction of an average person, and that's the reaction that everyone looks. I mean, that's what I see. I'm like, that's it, Indiana 6.5, and then I'm like, take a step back. It looks way too fucking.
Yep, Nebraska's got a very good defense. 24th in the nation defensive success rate. Yeah. But Indiana's right there, 31st in the country with defensive success rate. It's the Nebraska offense that scares me away from taking Nebraska plus.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. Nebraska's offense is a weakness in betting number, but it's one of those hold your nose type plays. But you know what? I'm not playing the 6.5. If I'm playing Nebraska, I'm playing it at 7. I'll play. I have no problem taking the little juice at minus 120 and taking the plus 7. Because Indiana, if you look at all their scores, everything's 7. They don't win by field goals. They win by 7s. Yep.
I mean, Nebraska really hasn't played any good teams either. Colorado, I guess. Illinois. Rutgers. Rutgers was the toughest team they played. It was 14-7.
Let's hold our nose. The team is 5-1. It's not a
Nebraska's
bad team.
5-1. Yep.
I'm saying in the spot.
Yes. I didn't even think it's a spot. I'm a hold my nose. I love it because everyone thinks that Indiana should just roll here by a touchdown or more, and it's 6.5. It's not 7.5. It's not 7. 6.5.
I still
against Purdue and Rutgers and Illinois, 7 points, 10 points, 31, 3 to Northern Illinois, 10 to Colorado, 7 to UTEP. I mean, what are we doing here? Illinois put points up on them. So even if they get that, that was a 31-24 game. They can score some points here. You're going to give me 6.5? I'll take Nebraska. I'd have to add this.
On special teams, too, I think Indiana has them beat there, too. Explosive plays, way more for Indiana than Nebraska.
It's going to be a great game. This is a very, very underrated game, let me tell you.
Do I like laying points? No.
No.
But, what are you talking about? That's your middle name.
Mr. Square?
No, laying points.
John.
I like Indiana. I think is a better team.
I agree. But it doesn't matter who's the better team when they play each other in this specific game.
Yep.
And also, Indiana could still win. They just won't cover.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
Indiana could still win, but
Michigan -4 at Illinois +4. Luke Altmaier hosting Alex Orji and the Wolverines.
Illinois minus and plus.
Oh, sorry about that.
Is it Orji? I thought Tuttle was quarterbacking.
It's Tuttle replaced him already. All right.
I was gonna say if Orji's quarterback, I'm taking Illinois money line on this. That dude is awful. He's awful. I'm sorry. I mean, I have some inappropriate words, but I mean,
Tuttle hasn't played much. Altmaier's a good player, man. I really liked him. He was able to rally the team, get them in position last week against Purdue. They never should have been in that position. Let's just be honest. They kind of like Sean, you said, they took the foot off the gas second half.
I mean, you came out of a bye week and gave up 49 points to Purdue.
Yep, with a defensive-minded head coach.
And now I got Michigan off their own bye week off of the Washington game where it's like,
they got killed out on the West Coast.
Which is fine. That was a huge game for Washington, even though the quarterbacks aren't there. It was still like revenge spot. And everybody loved Michigan. I don't know why, but people were on them, I guess. I mean, come on. You have to be able to pass the ball more than 30 yards to win. Yep. I think that was probably addressed over their bye week. The fact that they're even favored here tells me all I need to know about what the smart – we could make fun of odds makers. They're smart people, you know.
Yep.
They put a number out. You got to attack it. I'm going to say I will lay the 4 here. I'm not – Illinois is fine. Okay, I get it. No, thank you. I will lay the – now it's up to – it was 3 earlier in the week. I did a show at Matt Fargo. It was 3. Now it's up to a whole point.
It was 3.5 this morning.
Yeah, so it's moved an entire point in 3 days.
Yeah, I'm seeing. Looks like it's back down to 3.5. When I did this, it was 4 when I started the banners.
3.5, 4. It's
Doesn't make a difference. Michigan's winning. There you go.
Anthony, you like the points with Illinois?
I like Illinois here. I can't touch. Can't take Michigan on the road. If it was in Michigan, I'd be all over Michigan.
Any thoughts on the total?
No.
Let me see. All right. Alabama, big SEC going here, man. Alabama at Tennessee, man. Alabama's defense didn't look that good last game, Sean. They lost to Vanderbilt, too. What are your thoughts on this game?
I like Tennessee here.
I do too.
And they haven't played good. We talked about who put up 70. Was that Indiana? Like Tennessee again. A lot of great offense early. And you're like, oh, look at this team. But we move into, in this case, SEC play. It hasn't really transpired. Tennessee's awful lost themselves.
They didn't play anybody their first 3 games, Tennessee.
And they
went
Alabama,
to Oklahoma, won. They lost at Arkansas. Arkansas, a pretty good team, though. And then beat Florida. They were at home, beat Florida.
Yeah, that was an ugly game. So we haven't seen good out of them. Alabama defense to me is a little question mark. You get up early on Georgia, they roll back on you, then you lose, then you almost lose again.
Yep.
The Saban was probably like his little tentacles were involved in the defense there. I think people overlooked that, and I was saying that today. He's the head coach, but he was a defensive guy. So the defense was always something you could make a play and not have to worry about it. I don't know. Tennessee, this is a desperation kind of game for them here. Their season could they thought of as a playoff team. I think they were a top 10 team to start the year. That's slowly slipping away. They still got Georgia to play. I think they have Texas on the schedule or A&M. They need to win here. I'll take a home dog with Tennessee, and I would probably lean over here as well. Believe it or not, I think I
love the over.
It could go to the over side of things here.
I'm seeing 57.5 now, so already running up here. Both teams sitting at 5-1. This is a playoff implication game.
Yes.
Nico Yamaleva for Tennessee and Jalen Milrose really stepped up his game under Kalen DeBoer. But look, man, the defense gave up 34 to Georgia, 40 to Vanderbilt, 25 to South Carolina. They reined it in a little bit last weekend. Anthony, what do you think? Any thoughts on the side, Alabama, Tennessee?
I think whoever has the ball last pretty much is going to win this game.
Yeah.
But I just think the safest bet is the over. Just take the over because by the second half, you already know Alabama's defense is going to be tired and gassed. Their secondary is atrocious. I haven't really watched too much of Tennessee. I really don't know how they play, but seems like they're more of a defensive game.
A good defensive line.
They punt a lot. Seems like they punt a lot outside of FCS teams. But I just cannot see a low-scoring game here. Not with Alabama's defense. I think Tennessee has a huge advantage in the spot at home. That Alabama's defense, I mean, like you said, look at all those points they've given up. In South Carolina, they really should have won that game last week. So
yeah,
I think Tennessee's the spot here.
And both these teams really good defenses. 7th overall for Alabama, defensive success rate. 2nd overall for Tennessee, defensive success rate. 2nd against the run.
Yeah.
As far as offense, let's see, offensive success rate. Tennessee sitting at 43, but Alabama at 15th in the country. So a little bit better offense on Alabama. Man, you got to like Milroe's experience, though, too.
Yeah,
he can run, man.
He's
like a Richardson running. He's like a Richardson running. He's a big dude.
So you like the over?
He's really upped his game. Yeah, I love the over.
Yep.
If I'm betting this game, I'm betting the over. That's it. Forget about the side. I don't care because I already know that Bama's going to give up in the high 20s, early low 30s. Play the over.
Nico is a young player. You got to like Milroe's experience and
absolutely.
Kalen DeBoer, good coach. Whichever team has the ball at the end, though, I agree with that, Anthony.
Yeah, I think it's a close game throughout.
Man, Georgia +5 at Texas. Texas is the best team in the country, Sean. They put it all together, offensive, defensive. Georgia, a little bit, it's hard to say Georgia's having a down year when they're
it's tough
when they're 5-1, right? But
I mean, they're 40-3 the last 3 years or whatever the hell they
exactly.
are. It's like, they're not a good team.
But it feels like
you got to remember, going into this season, they don't have those players that they were 40-5. They don't have those players no more. That defense.
You still got the quarterback.
Yep,
that's
you
it.
Still got Carson Beck. You still got the coach.
But still,
coach and the quarterback. That's all you got.
Georgia is a top 3 recruiting every year. So the fact that the defense has looked a little shaky is a bit concerning. And not only that, I mean, 13-12 versus Kentucky. And we shouldn't say, I mean,
Kentucky's a good team. Don't sleep.
I'm just saying, it's 13-12. They did give up 13 to Auburn, not a lot. The Georgia-Bama game, sometimes they get a little crazy. 31 to Mississippi State. I don't know what that's
the question mark. Mississippi State's horrible. I've watched that team, and let me tell you.
Texas only allowed 13 versus Mississippi State.
I got to tell you guys, if you ever watch a Mississippi State team, that is the most – nobody on the whole freaking team knows what they're doing. Nobody. Between the quarterback, the offensive line, the coaches. I mean, everybody's looking at each other like, what do we do? I mean, I've been on Mississippi State 1 week, and I was like, it was a disaster. It was an absolute disaster.
They went into
terrible.
They went into what Norman, Oklahoma, and won 34-3.
When?
Last weekend.
They beat Oklahoma last week?
Texas.
Oh, I'm talking about Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know that. Well, Oklahoma's got a rookie quarterback, and there's a lot of questions.
I'll tell you what, Vrabel's on a hot seat. I thought it was last year to be on a hot seat. He definitely looks bad right now.
Yep.
Texas, I'm telling you, Texas is the Georgia from last year and the year before.
Yeah,
you got to go with Texas here. I'll take Texas all the way up to 7.
The crazy thing is that, Georgia is 5-1. Alabama's got the loss. If those teams, they could actually be like eliminated from the playoffs right now if they lose this week.
If Georgia and Alabama lose,
they could be out.
Yep, they have to win.
Yeah. It doesn't mean they do. I mean, they're playing 2 tough teams. I mean, Texas, I think this looks really good. The depth is really showing. Remember, at the beginning, it was like, oh, they got no running backs. So another running back got hurt. How are they going to beat Michigan? Yeah.
The biggest problem this year is everybody looks at Georgia and they still think they still have the Ladd McConkey. They got the Brock Bowers. They're defensive studs. Mm-hmm. Those players are gone. Ladd McConkey and Brock Bowers was the go-to on 3rd down. And always and 4th down. Those guys are gone. They have one reliable receiver. That's it. Georgia's not the same Georgia. They're rebuilding. Don't sleep on this Texas team. This is the new Georgia. Texas is the Georgia. Georgia is the Texas of 2 years ago.
It's just the question is if Georgia is – how good's Kirby? do they rise up here, right? Because it's a tough, it's a must-win game.
Yeah.
Great. You've played a better schedule. I mean, Texas has given them how many points this year? On here, 38 points.
This feels
13's the most. I mean,
feels like an under.
And the thing with Texas is you look at them like, oh man, like the Michigan game, is it like Michigan going to smash them because you're coming out of the Big 12, you're an aerial attack, right? The Big 12 is always like pass happy, no defense. They went toe-to-toe with Michigan and did all right. Can they do it again with Georgia? I mean, Georgia, again, they've got Bama, they played Clemson. Kentucky, I guess, is kind of a tough.
Listen to this. Offensive success rate for Texas, 4th. Defensive success rate, 5th. For Georgia, offensive success rate 49th and defensive success rate 65th in the country.
Yeah. Are we sold?
But still,
are we sold on Sark? Is Sark going to win this game and really take that next step for the program?
I think the Longhorns win, but it feels like an under to me. This feels like a 28-20 ball game.
Georgia will keep this game close. They'll keep them in the game. But
57 feels high for me. 57 points, Sean.
This is a 31-13 type game. Texas rolls. I'm telling you. You're gonna look back next week. Oh, Anthony was right.
Love that.
Texas is the real deal. I was not sold on Texas until I see them week in and week out.
How many
top teams?
How many spectators does that stadium hold, Sean, in Austin?
That's
100,000.
I really wish this was in Georgia. I think that would have been a lot
better game.
It would have been a lot more evenly matched.
Yeah.
But this being in Texas, I'm sorry, 5 is like
that stadium gets loud, man, in Austin.
I mean, the crazy thing is that you thought, it's a spot from off of Oklahoma. Like, you got Red River, and in Georgia, it could be a flat spot to look at. Well, it's Oklahoma who they play tough. That's a rival. They weren't going to look ahead past that game. The question is, this is a flat spot. This game was 1.5 in the summer. It was 3 to start in September. It's up to 5 now. At this point, it's like 5. Georgia's got to be like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, they're like a 5-point underdog, bro. They see this crap.
Yep.
Be like, what? I mean, how many 5-star recruits they got on their team? I bet they probably have more than Texas does.
Yep.
So listen. Do I like Texas to win? Yeah, I do like Texas. But
I think they cover 5 here.
I'm not. I won't be shocked if Texas shits the bed and be like, they pull
I wouldn't either.
A Sark move.
I will be shocked. I will be shocked.
He's got a lot better team this year, though, I think.
Again, last year he kind of got over that. He went to the playoffs and did good.
Yep.
But we've seen him kind of not succeed sometime in spots.
All right. So, Anthony, I like Texas. I like the under in this game. I don't think they get to 57.
I agree. I agree with you.
All right.
I don't think Georgia. I think Georgia and Texas. It's going to be probably a low-scoring game in the first quarter. Second half, Texas will start pulling away.
All right, NFL time. We got the Lions and Vikings. This is a premier matchup, man. Who'd have think the Lions or the Vikings be undefeated? Then the Lions rolled into Dallas and just whipped them. Man, Dallas could not do anything. Of course, Lions lose their best pass rusher to injury out for the season. Lions catching 1.5 here. Vikings coming off a bye. The total looks high to me, though. What do you think, Sean?
Definitely an underplay here. Viking defense is surreal. The Lions, we saw them struggle in the first week. We saw them struggle in Arizona, right? I mean, okay, you beat Dallas. Let's go back to our summer shows here. I talked about Dallas. What did I tell you?
Yeah,
you got a bad offensive line, no running back, 1 wide receiver,
injured defense,
and then your 2 best guys, the best probably defensive player of the year type guy in Parsons out. You got a new coordinator running the stuff over there, so they look terrible. I mean, they gave up 45 to the Saints at home or whatever. And then Baltimore rolled up 30 before they even showed up for the game. So the defense is a problem for Dallas. And also the fact that last year the whole Detroit probably should have won. They had the reporting eligible tackle guy.
Right.
They went into that game running up the score. I mean, they were coming out of a bye week. We were like, they didn't care about Minnesota. They're like, we're going to run trick plays on Dallas. We're going to smash the guys.
Oh, yeah.
And now you got Minnesota.
Everybody got a touchdown in that game. Every skill player.
You got Minnesota sitting here waiting with a better defense. Again, their quarterback right now.
It's a classic letdown spot for the Lions.
Yeah. And again, and the line's gone up. It's actually, I saw 2 out there. Like, nobody's betting the Lions. The money's on the Vikings. Give me the under 2 as well.
Yep. Anthony?
I love the Lions in the spot. I'm going to tell you why. nobody realizes how invaluable Aaron Jones is. He's out. He's out for a while now. He's on IR.
He's out. Yep.
That was the heart. Believe it or not, people think about Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. No, it's Aaron Jones is the reason they're undefeated. He was the heart and soul. He was catching. He was averaging almost 30 yards a game. He was rushing over 100 yards a game. I mean, this guy was a monster. And now you eliminate that. Now you got Ty Chandler as your running back, which Ty Chandler could fill in the spot, but he can't catch the ball like Aaron Jones.
They had to trade for Cam Akers.
Cam Akers is back.
Bring him back.
So, I mean, I like
they
the
hated
Vikings
him last
a lot.
year. They wanted to get rid of him, bench him last year. Now they can't wait to get him back in town.
Keep an eye on this Vikings team. Okay, they're 5-0 with Aaron Jones playing. Okay, so I'm taking the Lions here in this spot. But when Aaron Jones comes back, there's a good chance the Vikings will probably have 3 losses, maybe 4 losses. Who knows how many losses they'll have? Aaron Jones is a bigger part of this offense than people think, and they don't put that into factor. But if you watching these games, you realize how important these players are.
Any thoughts on the total?
I would lean under.
Me too.
That's one less playmaker. The thing is, how much can Justin Jefferson do? Is this Lions secondary really that bad?
And that Vikings defense is good.
It's very good.
Last year, these guys played twice last year. 30-20 and 30-24. Lion wins. Yeah. Nick Mullins threw 6 interceptions for the Vikings in those games. And they're still within a touchdown of being in those games.
Well, let's also think these 2 defenses improved dramatically from last year. They were good last year, but now they're still fully healthy. I mean, there might be a player or 2 out for the Lions.
The Lions' best players out.
They still put Hutchinson is out, but they still put the pressure on the quarterback. Hutchinson went out.
That was Dallas.
How many? That was Dallas. But they'll still get to Darnold. They'll still get to him. I mean, at the end of the day,
I'm
it's
not
still
sold
Sam
on Darnold yet, but
I love Darnold.
Sam Darnold was a beast with Aaron Jones as his
He's got his
pacifier.
To make
I'm telling you, Aaron Jones was his pacifier. That was his right-hand man. Now you take his right-hand man out, and if you look back at the game when Aaron Jones played versus the Jets, they went up to score 17 points right out of the gate. Aaron Jones got hurt. How many points did they score with Aaron Jones not playing?
But now you got a game under your belt basically with no Aaron Jones, and then you had a whole week off to regroup.
I agree.
And this coach, this is a different. Darnold to me is a guy. If he's got his opportunity, he was going to be good. I thought last year, right? I had my little player of the year on him. Come back. So here he is. He's got the best receiver in football. He's got a good coordinator. Defense is good. It's going to be a good game. The line tells you it's going to be a good game. So we're really just kind of splitting hairs to see who wins here.
The best bet in this game is take Sam Darnold over half interceptions. He's thrown an interception every game. Take Sam Darnold to throw an interception. He's thrown one in every
Willis Towers, you're going to come in here and tell us how great the Bears are. Caleb Williams still stinks. I don't care. You got 5 wins, Bears fans here. Or 4 wins, whatever you are.
Hey,
7-win team.
How many? Let's go back real quick to the schedule. How many wins does Sean predict for the Bears now?
7.
Because I saw him 7. I heard on Midday Money he said 8, and my jaw about dropped. I was like, dude,
8's a little high.
Guess what Sean said on Midday Money? He says, yeah, the Bears 8 wins if they beat the Seahawks. It's still under the total, though. It's still under the total.
Well, hold on a second. I said from the beginning under the total. I said that from the beginning I did. I said 5. I said, but the 8s. I mean, their total was 9.5. They had to win 10. Come on, get that out of here. It was 9.5 open, and then they bet it down.
Oh, okay, yeah.
People what kind of Riri saying these guys are going to win 10 games this year? So sanity came back.
Rapid fire through these next games. We got Willis Towers up after us. Texans +3 at Packers -3. Total 48. Sean, what do you think here?
I like the under. I like the under.
Oh, Sean likes the under.
The last time I saw the Texans play a team with a defense, they lost 34-7 at Minnesota. So
you like the Packers -3?
Have you watched the Packers play the past couple of weeks? Their defense do give up points.
Well, that was against Minnesota. It's pretty good, and it's
the
a
Rams
rival
with a depleted offense.
I haven't.
That was a fluke. That was we like the Rams in that game, so that was a spot where that's going to happen.
I was on the Packers that game.
The Texans had gone under all season long. They went over last week against New England. They barely got over against the Colts. They were under their other 3 games.
A little regression to the mean here, maybe, Sean.
I hope the Texans win. As a Bears fan, I hate
the Packers' defense is not that.
But you know what? I'm telling you,
I like the Packers' defense. I'm high.
I gotta go with the Packers to win. I don't know if they win by 3, 2, or 1, but
the Packers' offense is awfully good, though.
He's going to find a way to win the stupid game. But take the over. But the Packers will have the ball left. They'll have the ball last with like a minute left. He'll find a way to drive for a field goal. Yeah. Give me the Packers to win. I'm not taking the 3 though.
Bengals Browns, another 5.5 spread. I hate these numbers.
This is one of my favorite teasers.
So bad.
I love the Browns.
One of my favorite teasers. Browns teaser up to 11.5.
Yeah,
Browns.
They kept it close. They kept it close last week.
Listen, they haven't.
That was also because of a punt return. That was also because
you can't score when you're on your back throwing the ball, and that's what happens when you have 3 offensive linemen out. They're back. Chubb is back. Njoku might come back, and I don't trust the Bengals defense. I know the Browns haven't scored anything.
Back. He just don't throw.
How do you throw? You got 3 offensive line. You got 3 starting linemen out. It's a problem.
You're talking about Watson, right?
I'm talking about the Browns don't have offensive linemen. So
the Bengals are terrible defense.
But the Browns offense still. Listen, Chubb is back. They're going to kind of protect Watson.
I like
again
the over.
He's getting so much crap.
Give me the over 41.5.
Man, you're as crazy as Mr. Scorty saying that.
You do know the Browns have not scored more than 18 points all season.
Yep. It's the Bengals defense.
Yeah. Have you watched it? I've watched Watson.
I know. Watson
every game this week. Watson has played one really good game, but he got the loss. When he played versus the Raiders, Watson played phenomenal. But that's what kills the Browns is penalties. If you watch the Browns, penalty, big play, penalty. Mari Cooper had a 75-yard touchdown versus the Raiders, which would have won the game.
Could have changed. That thing could have changed the entire season. Like it's one game, but that changes the outlook of how everything's going.
Yep.
Yeah.
It changes play calling. It changes that. Like, we hit that. We got to try that again. We got to go back to that. And then they win the next game, and they're not being this bad.
They had their opportunity to beat the Eagles. They just fell short, but they played very well. But that Raiders game, I got to say, Watson, for the first time since he left Houston, was the first time he looked just like Houston.
Is crack legal in Chicago? What are these people talking about in the chat? 13-4?
Well, that's
the Bears?
Bears fans, I mean, I think we've all talked about Bears fans are a little delusional sometimes.
Yes. Playoffs.
They're trolling gone now. All right, so what do you guys like here? Browns plus points.
Browns. I'll take the points too.
All right, good teaser action there from Sean for Anthony. Seahawks +3, Falcons -3. I hate to be. This is a square play. It seems too easy, but I like the Falcons.
Of course you do.
Like
Seattle defense is playing good, man. Good defensive success right here. I don't like the over. I think I'd take the under here. I don't think these teams are that good of offenses. But
I have an over again. Watch the mid. Look at the line. 47.5 was the opener here, by the way, folks.
Yep.
47.5. It's 51.5.
Give me the under.
See, this is a sandwich spot for the Falcons, right? They just played a division. They got at Tampa Bay next. Seattle with a little rest off of their game against the Niners there. They can score though, so I like the over either way. Falcons
still like the over 51.5.
I do. Cousins is finding his groove with the offense. Got a nice little thing going with Mooney.
Yep, you heard it here. Yeah.
Falcons defense is not as good as you think they are too.
Yeah, they're not that good.
They let Carolina score a lot off them.
I mean, that was over at halftime.
Yeah, this is another game. This. If you're watching NFL Red Zone, fourth quarter is going to be crazy on all the scoring and all the tight games. That's that type of week. Falcons -3. I think they win by 3. The only thing is I think they win by 3. That's the only thing.
Last time these two teams played was 2 years ago, 27-23 win.
Completely different teams.
Yep, completely different teams. Yep. We got Seahawks the Chiefs Super Bowl.
Awful.
You guys both like the over, right?
Over, and I like the Falcons to win. I don't know about the 3, though.
All right.
2.5. 2.5.
Chiefs 49ers, this line's moved down. It's Chiefs +1 now. Rematch. The 49ers are pedestrian 3-3 now. But they've been injured. They missed the heart and soul of that offense with McCaffrey. He has not been healthy all season. Brock Purdy, love his game. Mahomes, their offense has suffered injury. No Rashee Rice, no Isaiah Pacheco. The Chiefs are a classic under team. I'm going to take the under in this one.
I like the under as well.
I do too. And this is the first time I heard on the 1 o'clock podcast. Sean is finally, after all these years, bought into the Patrick Mahomes.
I couldn't
believe my ears.
I tried. Let's go back to the playoffs. I said the Bills get the revenge because always Mahomes on the road beat them. Okay, loser. Oh, they're a small little fave to the Ravens. Ravens, big payback. Loser. Oh, let me get the Niners because they just blew the Super Bowl last time they played. We'll take them as a small favorite. Loser. No, I'll take them at a pick 'em here. I don't care. Let's go.
And you know what? Give me the 49ers in this game, just because this is going to be the one game that Sean's, after all these years, all the Super Bowls, all the matchups,
revenge,
all the times that give me the Ravens in week 1.
Everybody
here. I mean,
Ravens week
good
1.
Scenarios. He had good scenarios. He had a good point.
They lost by the toe. Just the toe was out
of bounds. The whole point
of
this is just he finally is taking the Chiefs. So give me the Niners.
All right.
Chiefs do nothing.
And it's ugly Niners because the Niners secondary is bad.
What does Sean like on the side? No play, right?
I said the Chiefs. We're talking about the Chiefs.
Okay.
This is monumental, Tooch. Okay. That's the past 2-3 years. He's finally saying, "Give me the Chiefs."
Let's give away some free plays.
It only took 2 blown Super Bowls from the realize.
I hate Shanahan. I'm talking about Shanahan being terrible. Before the Super Bowl, I mentioned it in the NFC Championship games.
I like the under in this game, man.
John, you had me rolling today. I'm driving and I'm rolling. I'm like, holy crap, he's finally signed the Chiefs. It only took 2 blown Super Bowls to.
This game's like a 20-17 game. 21-20.
This is the perfect spot for the Chiefs to lose, get their first loss. Yep. The Niners to get whatever
to get back on track. Yep, their revenge.
But you know what? The Chiefs, in reality, the Chiefs could easily win this game. Just how banged up the Niners are.
That's why I like the under.
The Niners will find a way to win this game.
It's just,
it's ugly.
2 years ago, Mahomes came in here and dropped 44 on these guys.
Yeah. Yep. It's an ugly game.
This year he's coming in after taking out the knees of his best wide receiver. How about some free plays here? Let's go.
Yeah, let's do.
We got Willis Towers coming up in 2 minutes. Anthony's free play. He likes the Illini. Sean's on the opposite side of this one, though. But Illini at home, a home dog. Sean likes the Patriots, Jaguars, unders. Bad weather in England, right?
That's what I'm hearing. We'll see what happens. But then again, I got the Jaguars. They gave up 35 to some crappy Bears team last week. The coach doesn't come home. The coach is coming home. He's coming home, coach. He's not coming home on a private jet on Monday. That's for sure. Coaching change in Jacksonville.
Fire him in England. If they lose the Patriots, Doug Peterson, we don't have a ticket for you.
I think the coach is nice enough. He'll bring him home with him on the plane, but to fire him on Monday
fire him
at
on
home.
The plane.
But if your defense doesn't show up here against another rookie quarterback,
fire him on the plane, and
Mac Jones is quarterback this game, right? Did they announce it?
Mac Jones? I don't think so.
I could have sworn I saw that. That was
he came in and played a little bit.
And that's a whole nother thing with this team. They're going to fire the coach, and then what? Then you got all that money. Lawrence, who's coming in? He's going to want his own quarterback. Mac Jones is going to be on his 3rd team in 3 years.
Lawrence isn't the problem. I think it's just I think it goes right back to the coaching. Lawrence isn't the problem.
I got coaching. BYU tonight versus Oklahoma State. All right, fellas, we got Willis Towers. Sean, don't troll him too hard in there.
I'm going to go have some dinner.
We'll see you.
Good pizza.
Good night, fellas.
Chicago pizza.
Domino's.